have no movie unfortunately. No rain, but now the wind is there.
Yeah. All right, I'm going YouTube live.
Right. Hey, may as well do it open mic.
No.
No? Okay. Come on, baby. Great. Welcome to the hurricane season of programming here at Inwood Artworks. Thank you for coming here today. Tell you what, you're not going to feel any humidity tonight, that's for sure. Thanks. Hey, thank you for coming out tonight. My name is Aaron Sims. I'm the founder and executive producer of Inwood Artworks, and we're North Manhattan's Cultural Art Hub. Uptown, we say everybody, we say we love it uptown, we love our people, and we have nothing but uptown artists performing for you here at 7 o'clock tonight here. I'm so proud and pleased to bring in Art in the Basin, who bring in artists from all around uptown, including the Northwest Bronx in particular. And so I want to thank Amy, Joy, and Tim for hurting them up and bringing them in today. So thank you very much. It's like a seasonal happening to have them back here, and we always want to keep that going. So you may or may not have noticed that there's no movie screen behind me, or and it wasn't a cool joke saying those hidden figures like I hit the screen. Okay, the figure is the figure is actually not there. It's over there in the bag. We gave the old college try, folks. I did everything I possibly could. There's 23-mile-an-hour wind gusts right now, and the screen just will not stay tame. And we don't want to put anybody in harm's way, particularly my crew, particularly you. So we're going to come back next week, this very spot at 8 o'clock-ish, where it gets dark enough. And we're going to do hidden figures then, okay? So don't give up on us. Come on back. We do our best to keep it going. So come back then for the movie. So your safety's first, and so is your enjoyment. So we want everybody to have a good time. So thank you very much, and I appreciate you. And we're going to turn it over. Guess what? We're not letting you go without some fun. So I'm going to turn it over to Art in the Basin here. I'm going to introduce Tim Brown here, and he's going to just tickle your fancies what's happening here. Enjoy, everybody. Art in the Basin. Thanks, Aaron. Yes, as Aaron mentioned, this is our third consecutive year doing a pre-show for one of Filmworks Alfresco's showings. It's, as you notice, pretty windy. It doesn't bode well for film. With film screens, they can topple over, but it won't stop poetry or music, which are not dependent on the wind necessarily. I mean, if it was 50 miles an hour, yeah, maybe. But we'll deal with it, and glad that you're here and are able to attend. What can I say? Well, for the last 6.5 years, I have been the co-host along with Amy Joy Roboto here of Art in the Basin. We are primarily a Bronx-based organization. Our home has been Monomoore Coffee and Wine, straight up Broadway, all the way at 238th Street and Broadway. Just steps from the 1 train, in case you want to take the train up there. We've done open mics for all that time. We've been featuring readers and musicians and many other folks, comedians, storytellers, kind of have done it all. And we have a couple of poets here for you tonight. So why don't we just sort of get to it?
Yeah.
Our first poet is Germany-born Bronxite Ron Mark R.M. Trinkler Thompson. He's a writer, playwright, poet, spoken word performer, producer, event host, MC, blogger, artist, photographer, podcaster, and technician, regular Renaissance guy. His memoir essays, poems were published in 3 of 5 Bronx Memoir Project anthologies, 2018, 19, and 21. His nature poem and photograph are featured in the Love Letters to Gaia anthology. Hope I pronounced that right. And 3 of his original short stage plays were produced and directed. The most recent was included in Art Define's Flip the Script virtual showcase and printed anthology. Ron regularly performs in-person and online open mics at Art in the Basement, Bronx Art and Fun Hub, the New York Weekend Poet Cafe downtown, Creative Expressions NYC in Harlem, BWOMS, Fincabulary, and The Word is Right. In 2019, Ron founded and currently runs the Bronx Art and Fun Hub BXAFH organization, producing and hosting free programs and workshops for adults. Also in 2021, he became the assistant producer of the New York Weekend Poets Cafe's weekly online and monthly hybrid open mics and monthly 2 venues, 1 mic events hosted by the Advocate of Work. In social media on Facebook, Instagram, and well, it used to be Twitter. Now it's called X. What, you have a great brand and you change it. What the hell was the matter with that guy? Anyway, he's at Ron Mark Thompson, and on the social media places as well, BXAFH. Just the poem. And on X or Twitter, whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays, at BXAFH. Everybody, please welcome RM Thompson.
Wait, Robert, wait.
Thank you, Tim. You know what? I didn't even, oh, sorry. I didn't even realize you used that long bio, because I actually have a shorter bio that I had like a year ago, and then it's a little bit updated. But that was great. I guess we have more time today, right? I know. I'll read it next time, but But yeah, thank you so much, Tim. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everyone at Inwood Artworks. Appreciate being here. Thank you, audience, for coming, even though it's not rainy, but it's windy, So, but hey, the show must go on. So, as Tim said, I am Ron Mark Thompson. I am from the Bronx, even though my accent may not sound like I'm from the Bronx. I wasn't born there, but I've been living there for 27 plus years. So I am from the Bronx, okay? All right. Specifically from the Kingsbridge Riverdale neighborhood. Yes, as Tim said, you can take the 1 train or you can take the PX7 bus. That's where we get you into my neighborhood. So, I started writing essays, stories, poems, and plays about 8 years ago. Today, I'm going to read you 5 short poems. We'll see how it goes with time. But I'm going to start with a happy poem that I wrote a few years ago. And we're going to pretend the sun is still out, but I still see a little bit sun here. We're going to pretend there's no wind and the rain stopped this morning. So this poem may be perfect. This poem is titled The Mighty Sun. Who put the sunshine high up there into the sky, higher than the tallest tree, higher than high, forcing even the grumpiest human to smile? Who put the sun high over the clouds, far into the blue, shining its rays back down to planet Earth each day anew? That star so brightly giving us strength and energy so true. Who made that yellow ball so hot and fury so intense? What makes its silhouette so glowingly with no offense, when only nighttime can give you a temporary defense? Who in heaven turns on each morning the light switch? Who only allows clouds and rain to cover, not a glitch? Which power is this, busy each day? Yes, which? Who warms the ground each morning and lifts each and every plant, as if to make them worship, begging for their companionship for the grant? No one can withstand the power of the sun. Trust me, you try, you can. That sun, oh yes, tickling until you roll, uplifting your spirit and your soul, until you are happy, until you are whole. The sun gives you energy. It puts you back into control. No vitamin D supplement can do the same. No power the sun provides, anyone can claim. So be aware of the power. Who put the sun so high up into the sky? There is nothing any of us can do. Believe me, no one can defy. End of this poem. Thank you. All right, the next one I wrote July 2020, just a few months into the pandemic, just in case anyone remembers there was a pandemic. It was in a workshop with John Maney, and I titled this poem, Thank You for Leaning on Me. I needed someone to lean on. You were there for me, though in the crisis, leaning was done virtually. In Skype, you listened to me. Via Zoom, you gave me courage. You blessed me with your words, made sure pessimism didn't flourish. When we videoed, you told me to march on. When we phoned, you urged me to not give up, to not be done. I do not know how to ever repay you, but you have landed a friend for life, the best I ever knew. Trust me, you will never get rid of me. We will always lean on each other for free. But even if we need to part ways or drift, I will always cherish your gift. I will pass on your kindness to others. This one I will be. I will lean on them just like you did with me. End of this poem. Thank you. All right, the next one I wrote before the pandemic, 2019. This one is a little bit more self-reflecting about me. This is titled, Why? Why do I always help others, but refuse to accept assistance? Why do I give advice, but rarely take my own? Why do I assist others with organizing, yet leave my own place in a mess? Why do I encourage my friends to succeed, yet neglect goals of my own? Why do I wish love for the deserved, but haven't found the one in my life? Why do I want the best health for my family, but keep skipping the gym too often? Why do I marvel at the lives of others and pretend happiness on my social media? Why do I see the greener grass on the other side of the fence, but don't cherish the colors in my own backyard? Why do I look at others and wish to be them when I have a self of my own to become? Yes, why don't know? Thank you. All right, this is a fairly new poem for today. This is a little bit longer. I promise the remaining poems will be happy. Okay, so I wrote this a few days ago, and I titled it "This Poem." Believe it. This poem is somewhat fresh, newly born, newly written, ready for the world, or so it thinks. This poem, even only a few days on earth, still young, not fully on whole, is really an old soul which has been around quite some time, or so it's been told. This poem is clever, it thinks it's wise. This poem looks at the world with suspicious eyes. This poem complains about the city and state. What a disgrace. It admits it really doesn't want to go to vote, to exercise its right, to actually make it a better place. This poem is angry. It had a job, worked hard, but then lost it. And now it blames the entire world and doesn't see a fit. This poem is barely holding on. It gets the chills. It barely has the money to pay the never-ending bills. This poem lost its shape during the pandemic and lockdowns, and now it needs to go back to the chip to get back on track. This poem is filled with shock, having heard the bus and subway fares will increase this weekend. This poem definitely needs to go back to the chip, so it can jump the turnstiles and bends. This poem is skeptical. This poem looks at everything with the glass half empty. This poem is aware. It needs to find some happier times. This poem is not much like me, though some thoughts I express here, I have to admit, I easily identify with. This poem wants to grow up and see the sunshine. This poem is not yet ready to retire. This poem is here to stay. This poem now needs to rest, but when it gets up tomorrow, this poem wants to come better, wants to become better. It wants to grow. This poem. All right, thank you guys. Thank you guys in the audience again for coming out on this windy day. Thank you again, Aaron Sims, the executive director of Inwood Artworks. Great organization. During the summer, they do outdoor film screenings, which we would have done if Mother Nature wouldn't have got into us though. Next week, come back. It's been rescheduled for next week. Also Monday at Diamond Street, right?
Every Monday, we outdoor films.
Yes, outdoor films. They Inwood Artworks is great supporters of art. Thank you all the staff here. They do concerts as well, and annually they do a film festival. So if you're a filmmaker or you love films, go and see Inwood Artworks. Follow them at Inwood Artworks or one word. You can follow me, as Tim said, at Mark Thompson, which is one word, Mark with a C, team, Thompson without the P, or my own organization, Bronx Art and Fun Up, EXAFH. I do workshops, programs, open mics, short stay plays. Myself, I'm a playwright. I'm not going to give you a play today, but if you're interested in writing, acting, or performing, just see me after the pre-show. I'll stick around. I'm not going to go anywhere. Maybe we'll still see the movie. I don't know. No, I don't know, but we'll stick around. So I'm going to read 3 acts of what we have time, right? Amy, we have time? 1? Okay, then, all right, I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to do 1 and a half, the one about out of the basin. So this one, a little bit happy. Don't Worry, Be Happy. It's after the Bobby McFerrin song from 1988. If you're my age, you may know it. If you're younger, you may not know it. I used the title and I added my own lines. Don't worry about life's sad episodes and tragedies. Be happy you'll survive them. Go ahead, eat some cranberries. If you woke up late, have no energy, and then you spill your milk, as they say, stop crying, don't be mad. Your tears are definitely not worth this cliche. If you miss the bus or train, and on the platform you now need to wait and stay, don't worry, be happy, another train will come. Hopefully, it will not be far away. And even if the next train or ferry will not arrive for another 2 or 3 hours, no worries, be happy, just read a book, drink some coffee, and think about your powers. Don't worry if your memory is not anymore as it used to be when you were young and pretty. Be happy that you have become wiser, less caring what others think. You don't need any pity. If you laughed at my made-up rhymes, those words and lines that are really not supposed to be meant together, don't worry, be happy. Congratulations. I just accomplished to make you smile and hopefully a little happier. That's it for this one. All right, thank you. And one last very short poem. Thank you to Art in the Basin, the curators of the show. You saw Tim, Amy's behind the camera here. Art in the Basin does they do workshops and shows here like this one here. And bi-weekly open mics, which are going to start in the fall again, at one or more coffee mics in 28th Street in the Bronx. Check it out, it's free. And at the end of those open mics, Amy ends with 3 words. She may end tonight with it as well, I hope so. Those 3 words are let, love, lead. And then about 1 year or 2 years ago, she turned them a little bit around, and now it's lead, let, love. And I've been with Art in the Basin for like 4 or 5 years. And when I heard those words, I'm like, let me write a short poem. So this is what I wrote back in 2020. Life, light, hope, love, heart, healing. Let love live. Let love fight. Love trumps hate. Love wins battles. Love wins over sadness. Love heals broken hearts. Love can cure diseases. More love, fewer wars. More love, fewer tears. Love leads the way. Let love lead. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Again, I'm Ron. Come talk to me afterwards. And now back to the host of the best out of the basin, Tim W. Brown.
That's right.
Thanks again, RM. Yeah, RM. Aside from being a poet, as I mentioned, he also mentioned he's the curator of Bronx Art Photo Hub. He's done sponsored a number of readings and workshops and so forth. I'm actually going to read a poem that I wrote, at one of Bronx Art and Fun Hub's workshops. And I'll tell you why in a moment after I finish it. Called The Sunset Photo, very short. Sunset colors, orange, pink, swirly gold, like Jupiter's storm clouds you see from a telescope. Other worlds teach me more than mine does. My city's skyline rises and falls, all raggedy like a bar chart of its fortunes and mine under a sherbet sky. Anyway, that was written, as I said, through a workshop that Ron Mark sponsored. The workshop leader was named Diane Ward, and it was themed around ekphrastic poetry. You may know what that is. I didn't until I looked it up. It's when you write a poem based on an image or a painting or a photo or something like that. And so we were shown a series of photos, and this is what I came up with. I mentioned this only because, in addition to sponsoring readings up at Monomoore Coffee and Wine, we also have done workshops the past 4 years, and Diane Ward is going to be the workshop leader at our next series of workshops, beginning on September 20th, and every Wednesday after that until October 4th, I believe. So it'll be 20th, 27th, and the 4th of October. Diane will be leading a writing workshop online on Zoom. It will be free, and you can visit, Art in the Basin at Eventbrite.com to sign up if you'd like to. Diane's really terrific, and it'll be really a treat to be in a workshop with her. Anyway, let's move on to the next poet. Scarlett Gomez is a queer Dominican Bronx-based poet and writer. She's had several short stories and poems published in literary journals such as Persephone's Daughters, Promethean Magazine, say that 3 times fast, Crabstat Magazine, Philadelphia Stories, the A3 Review, Deadass.nyc, and Writers HQ. She most recently published her first collection of poetry, which is a huge step, by the way, to get something like that done, titled How I Remember It. And talk to her later also about that book, and maybe she even has copies available today. I don't know, maybe, but you'll ask her. She received the Esther Unger Poetry Prize, from the City College of New York in 2016. Her most recent notable features include Dreamer Monarch, Legacy Awakened, Sage Center Brooklyn, Stonewall House, Safe House, a mental health awareness event, and there's a lot to unpack here. All of these in Brooklyn, what I call that borough that begins with BR, the other one. Scarlett is an LGBTQ and mental health advocate with lived experience working to create safe spaces for other queer youths to express their art in Bronx in the form of Poetry House, a queer-centric poetry reading and open mic carved out after experiencing homophobia and transphobia at other events throughout New York City. Everybody, please welcome Scarlett Gomez.
Woo!
Hi, everybody. How are you? So my name is Scarlett. I want to read just 2 poems from my book. This is my book. It's called How I Remember It. That's me when I had like a little red streak going on. And we're just going to get in our feelings for while I'm up here. if that's okay with you all. So this first poem is called How Do You Like Being Married? Marriage is fun. I am all in with everything I feel. Even in conflict, it is all or nothing with me. But I can't help but notice the switch. Deeper ponds and more snapping turtles. Impossible to feel the bottom with my feet without losing them. Vigilant of my hands when they dip into the water. I watch them settle onto the muddy bottom. And when everything is quiet, your mother comes to me with cold hands to put a blanket over my shoulders. See, we both had wishes living at the bottom of the pond. And I wondered why I was so scared to leave. I had so much I was willing to shed. I think we made a mistake. Maybe we both just didn't want to be wrong. Thank you. This second one is called Honest. Our conversations were riddles. I could never get a straight answer out of you. It was always, you aren't ready to hear the truth. Do you believe me when I say I have searched for all the reasons that would make you think that? I still wear this small wedding band. I still have your last name, and somehow your truth is not mine still. The couple therapist said you are the one seeing all the babies coming down the river, and I'm the one trying to stop them from coming. She didn't see the reality. The curled lip and raised brow at the babies were cold and hungry. How you wrap them only after they've exhausted themselves from crying. Fed them only when even exhaustion wouldn't quiet them. Let them fester in their own waste because it can wait until it couldn't anymore. I wish you would just answer me straight. If everything with me is so hard, I want to know why you won't let me leave. By the end of the third hour, I just agreed to stop. I can't understand a word out your mouth anymore. I don't even want the answer. So I have some new poems that I wrote, and some of them have Spanish in them.
Yeah.
So I do apologize if we don't have Spanish speakers, but I do hope that the message comes through and you get to enjoy it. This one is called Para Mami, which means for my mom. In the same ways, I find myself wearing my mother's shoes this morning, unable to sleep, pasando la escoba por la sala, buscando the coins I lost for wishes. I want to ask her, ¿qué pensabas tan temprano por la mañana? ¿Por qué no podías dormir? Y de los deseos que dejaste debajo de tu almohada. When you left everything you knew and came here, tell me about the dreams you had before you became my mother. My mom is the only one I want to give all my sorries. She is the open heart that has brought me in over and over when I felt I never deserved it. When I couldn't sleep, she fed me media lunas y mata. Placed her gentle hands on my head. Le pedí a Diosito que me devolviera mis sueños. She stayed with me until my breath left only stars between us. My mom is the one whose dreams I want to give back. Dreams she poured into me that I have turned into something else. But still, ella dice que se siente orgullosa de mí. But how could she be proud when she left the whole country to give me a better life and I have never left New York to give her a better future? How can I know that I've done what you wanted me to do? She says that I have done so much, but I only want to do better. Mom, I am so sorry for all the times you had to minimize your dreams to open the curtains on mine. I am sorry I lost my Spanish in school. I am sorry I have only ever been average. I'm sorry I didn't know you were afraid those moments. I wondered loudly why you weren't louder than me and why you didn't fight harder for me. I'm sorry I became so impatient. I'm sorry I hated myself and never learned to love myself until now. But Mom, I found some coins under the couch. Si pudieras pedir cualquier cosa, what would it be? This next one, I was gonna, you know what, I'll just do it. I was thinking about it because it has a lot of Spanish and I didn't want to trip over my words, but maybe it's fine if I do. This one is about my grandfather who died from cancer when I was 10. And like, you know, growing up, I was really raised by my grandma and my grandpa. My dad was in DR for a really long time and then eventually came here. And my mom spent a lot of her time working. So a lot of my childhood was with my grandparents, and my grandpa was really like my father figure. So this is called About My Guardian Angel. My garden knocks. It is plain that gullies into un arroyo, con peces que besan tus tobillos cuando te sumerges. Brilliant green that hasn't known the touch of man and waits for me with emerald apples, blueberries, lavender, and liatris. Sunshine, stream, and breeze. Cuando me encuentro aquí en mis sueños, sé que es papá tocando la puerta. My grandfather has been watching over me since he left us. And when he comes to me, it is in the smell of rivers and grass, the minerals I find in the furrows where there is rhodonite and angelite, words I have only known in my dreams because you will always give me what I need cuando me siento perdida y con hambre. Me haces falta, y te sigo extrañando para siempre. But I know when my fingers pass over the ridges of the only tree in my garden, it is your hand I am touching. When I am cutting myself down, wondering how gravity's hold will play on the other side of the cliff, you bring me where earth only grows. En mi niñez, la muerte existía en pesadillas. Nunca pensé que un día la imagen tuya se quedaría solo en fotografías. Que un día las palabras que dirías se alejarían. Que tu voz llega solo en los angelitos que me visitan en el jardín. My garden knocks. It is plain that gullies into un arroyo, con peces que besan tus tobillos cuando te sumerges. Larimar at the soles. Papa, I know that it is you showing me peace. Thank you. How much time do I have? I think that the next one I will do is a practice call. Kind of want to practice this and test it out and see how everyone receives it. This is called belonging. I think I figured out why I feel like I belong nowhere. It wasn't until I started sharing myself that I realized I am being graded on how well I can perform my feelings. Make myself digestible for people who have already decided they find me distasteful. Whose stomach I turn into a witch's cauldron, every word shaped by the sweetness of my breath, making them sick. It is no longer enough to just be. I have to make this my purpose. Be in it for the right reasons, as if the right reasons themselves aren't starving for the next course, dragging their tongues across the plate of concept before them. It is not enough for me to just be honest, to wipe the film that has settled over your eyes, to set down my pain for just a minute, wrap myself in the warmth of having my hands held when I am on stage. I want to so bad be the poet who writes about love, but it's hard to preach about what I am still learning to give myself. I've made so many friends that have only dug holes for my body to fit perfectly. People who attach themselves using me as a battery to keep themselves running, laughing as I lay drained and rejected beneath my bed sheets, feeling them forget me as they create new memories, as if they had not just dumped all of their hurt onto me to make room. Now I keep an 8-story structure in my mind, a mental museum where I am forced to look at all the ways I have allowed you to fail me, hoping you could give me the salve that would heal my open wounds. It is a lesson I learned over and over. Shrinking myself, drinking the guilt of not giving you a chance to show the good we shared wasn't an illusion, that it was true. But true was every room I had roamed alone in darkness while you roamed in someone else's company. While you frolicked in pretty projections, guessing the 1,000 words behind the photograph, I was being squeezed out of the guts of every promise you made me, pinched and plucked out of my hope that anything between us would get better. I want to be better than who I became with you. So all the versions of me meet me where I'm at now, a place without definition, a place that sinks lower than where the light can reach, where you need to make your own to be able to see the what if that dangles, working to understand the why of who I am, how to soothe her sore throat, ease the shaking in her legs, teach her how to breathe. At least here where I meet myself in the eye of this pit at the core of the earth, I can see myself. I can see the shine that turned the lights in your eyes into stars, loop our arms together and bring out the laughter only old friends here, because only old friends understand what it is like to belong nowhere. to be the plants that shed their flowers to protect themselves, to be looked over for the ones in bloom, to reach out for the life we have been growing without. Thank you. So I do have like 4 copies of my book if anyone's interested. They're $12. But if you don't want to buy it now or you want to like check more out, it is available on Amazon. And if you don't have money to buy it all, the best way to support me would be if you like do like a 5-star, like, oh my God, I loved it. It was so great. You know, but yeah, I am on Instagram under Loose, LOOSE_2 and 4 underscores. Thank you.
Wait, Scarlett,
Yeah.
you also have an open mic somewhere.
I host a queer-centric open mic at the ID Studio Theater. This is around the 6th train at the 138 stop. The next show is going to be on October 9th. This is a holiday, so some of us office job people were off. And it's going to be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I haven't made the flyer yet, but if you do follow my Instagram, I'll post it. And it'll be on Eventbrite, so you guys can RSVP. And the sign up will be at the location, first come, first serve kind of thing. And we'll have a great time and be safe. And I'll kick anybody out if you start problems or anything. But yeah, thank you.
Thanks again, Scarlett. What a great series of poems. And do check out her book and do check out the open mic. Speaking of which, let me tell you a little bit about our upcoming events. In addition to the workshop that starts next month with Diane Ward, at the end of September, is it the 29th, maybe, Joy, something like that?
30th.
30th. We're going to be up in Austin, New York, in a 2nd annual collaboration with Bethany Arts Community. We're going to be hosting a poetry slam.
All right.
Last year it was a lot of fun. It's an outdoor space, beautiful grounds, former convent that they turned into a arts sort of center or colony, where artists come and stay and do residencies. So maybe come on up. You know, it's not far from the train. And, you know, if you have a car, it's even better. But there's going to be a prize. I'm not sure what it is yet. Cash prize. This cash prize, I think, about $150 last year. So anyway, and then our own series is going to start up again. We've been kind of on a summer hiatus, like we've been doing the past couple of years. On Tuesday, October 3rd, we will start up again at Montemore Coffee and Wine at 238th Street and Broadway. With Clyde Woodham, who is a stand-up comic. Very funny, quirky guy, but very funny. Do come check it out. There'll be an open mic. We also will be doing these events every other Tuesday, which we've done pretty much since 2017. So we've been doing this and kind of reaching out to the other communities that we have kind of run across, such as Inwood Artworks and Filmworks Al Fresco. Thanks again to Aaron and the organization for hosting us here tonight. Better luck next time with the weather, and hopefully the film will occur and come back to that. And yes, our social media. We are Art in the Basin on Instagram, Art in the Basin on YouTube, and of course AITB-Art in the Basin on Facebook. So do become our friends on those social media platforms. Let's get to the final performer of the evening. DJ Santiago is a singer-songwriter. He's appeared with us a couple of times, I think now. He has a style and a presence that's very unique and utterly charming, so I hope you find that. He's in the midst of a tour, an evening with DJ Santiago. He has a couple of gigs coming up next week, actually, in that other borough that begins with the letters BR. On August 23rd at the Karen Park House, and on August 27th at Young Ethel's, again, both in Brooklyn. Maybe talk to him afterwards as well about further details, and you can become his friend on Instagram as well at the DJS Plus Bar. So everybody, please welcome DJ Santiago.
Okay, hello, that's right, you have it. The dates, I forgot myself, I have to get reminded every day, memory's not all the way there. As part of me wants to sing, instead of Here Comes the Sun, Here Comes the Moon. Which I found out that there's actually another completely different song George Harrison wrote. It's not as good, but hey. I have an album out called Songs for the Summer, so there's only so many more days before I have to start singing those songs, but might as well do a couple of them now. And this one is a sort of a island themed tune that I wrote like back in Texas, Georgia, one of these places. I travel a lot. So it's called Opportunity, which was actually going to be the name of the record, but then I wanted to, kind of troll all those people who ever said that they have these songs for the summer. Well, I have 10 now, so it's okay. Once I was a boy, taking care about things. So when I people need a song to sing. So I got a pen and I got a paper and sat down. Throw it up strongly and create my style. Generally, I was happy. I had a problem, just believe. Once I learned that I'm as good as I wanna be. Voices tell my brain to be free. First time an opportunity, instead you will see. All the things the universe has in store for you. First step of me, there's no higher ground. The only ones that can save us from being too empowered is ourselves. Too many lost souls that are made every day. Gets to be monotony. Time for change of pace. Bettering myself starts with letting go inside. All kinds of hatred and where you were high. Why can't I to hurt me again? One of these days I'll soon live to never forget. Every time I think of it again, baby starts something to me. Hurt yourself an opportunity and surely you will see all the things the universe has in store for you and me. First yourself and believe that there's no higher power. The only ones who can save us from being empowered is us. Across the moon, started in the bed you have with them. Feels so much more comfortable being in my skin. The only thing I wish I had is more time with my mom. Not sure that she's thinking that it's really alright. First time when I'm feeling silly, will say all the things the universe has in store for me. First time And there's no higher power. The only one that can save us from being devoured is ourselves. Thank you. I was hoping that one was going to be a hit off the album, and it turned out there was a B-side that became a hit off the album. That's not even on the actual album, so I don't know how to feel about that. So last time I was here, well, this the Higher the Bass, and I did a song in February called February. So to keep the tradition, since it's August now, I figured I'd do an August song. Now, granted, I recorded this song about 2 or 3 days ago. I just don't know. I just don't know what the hell I wrote. So I'm gonna try best to remember what I wrote. So, granted, since only few people have heard this before, you don't know what the lyrics are. So, frankly, it's gonna be a challenge in improvising here. So, I'd say a prayer. So, it's called August Summer Snow. It's a long story, I'll explain later. Is it bad to dream of snow? You know, where it's impossible. I always dream about it, but that makes it impossible. You think it's too late, you think it's not, think I'm living, even all I got, you think I'm free, you think I'm easy, but won't have to see. I think I only go for what I need, all life only gives me just one chance to see, to do the things I'm meant to do. No matter what I have to do, and everything seems so impossible. I start to wish August summer snow. Finally, enough I don't like the cold, but the ones I see makes it all. The whole point is coming high. Call me weak, but I say I'm just a slow guy. They say I'm all these other things. I say I'm fine. Well, they say I'm really, I'll say sure why not. I think it's only fair to go after trees. All I want is one more chance to see and do things I'm meant to believe, even if it's my wildest dreams. When everything seems so impossible, I start to wish for August summer snow. Finally, enough I don't like the cold, cause no one's a fantasy that makes it all worth the whole. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. And everything that seems so impossible, I start to wish for August summer snow. Finally, I'm not gonna let the cold on the storms and everything that breaks the all of the whole. Oh, oh, it's the wonderland see that makes it out. Very good. Let's see. I did a song for the new album, a song that ain't gonna come out till New Year's. Okay. I'll continue on the songs that aren't gonna come out yet. This next one is song that's fitting for a Friday since it has Friday in the title. I'm good at picking this. A long time ago, I met a woman who was in the throes of a lot of problems, mentally, physically, emotionally, and I knew I couldn't help her, even though I wanted to desperately. So we had to, end our consummation, even though it was some of the highlights of my life. And there are more ways than one. But the point, I will go into detail, but this is a hot spot. I'll tell you this. So this song is a song I wrote for her as I was leaving her. And I wrote it to basically say that sometimes in life we have to leave somebody. It's not anyone's fault, but it's just timing and the universe kind of let you know more about why it's happening and you two can explore it. So it's called Fateful Friday, and this invokes any emotion within you. Hopefully it's good. Last night you were sleeping into you and sleep. Said that I can't stay. I said that's okay. My way home, I was just, but I didn't have your love. All I knew was I had to go. So I sang my way home. And on that fateful Friday, I was at your place and held you tightly in my embrace. And on that fateful Friday, it was everything. And all I ever needed to get me. Calling, I called you, have a night to this. All I knew was that I was placed in a situation. All I could be, was the support. Doesn't matter, I'm feeling your heart. But these days I'm happy to know that I'm here home and there's nowhere else to go. And on that big Friday, I was at your place. And I could tell you and I embrace. And on that big Friday was everything. All I ever needed to get. Just different life, different heights. As I get older, my world is getting now. You are my life, you are my fire. You would never dare say I was a liar. But on the big Friday, I was at your place. That last time I got you in my embrace. That big Friday, it was everything. It was all I needed to say. But whatever album that goes on, I pray to God that's it. Okay, well, how many?
You have one more?
If
A
you
short one.
a short one, sure.
Short one.
Okay, I'll do this song that's on the new album, and it's the shortest song on the album, probably just one of the shortest songs I have. I wrote this song after I heard a Billy Joel song that he wrote for his daughter called Lullaby. When his daughter asked him at 7 years old, "Where do we go when we die?" And Billy didn't know how to respond, so he had to think very carefully about how he wrote the song. So I listened to it and I said, "Now I don't have a kid, but but I said if I had something similar, like maybe girlfriend or someone, what would I say?" So there's going to be some lyrics in here that are not indicative to anything I may believe as a person about having children. So now the funny thing is this is in different keys. And on the guitar, that's a little tough, but this is the short one, so hopefully the mistakes will be short. So it's a tune that's aptly titled Good Night. So yeah, I'm just gonna press. Okay. So you are the epitome of what you are supposed to be. If I could find you, I'd run to you in my sleep. What is the one thing you wish that I could try to see? Who's you make goes so breathtaking. From your insanity, all the seats of morning, I can have beer every day. You have seven sons and a kidney, makes me wanna be free. Whatever has made us so free, just know it's easy to relax you. You are one of those things that just speaks to me. You are the epitome of what people are supposed to be. If I could find you, I'd run to you in my sleep. What is the one thing you wish that I could try to see, my dear? Would you make all so breathtaking from your happy to It's lyric, that's not true. Darling, don't you know how much you are right, just hope one day we could have our own. Just around the corner, there's some special kind of song. Not like the others who never stay there long. You are the epitome of what people are supposed to dream. If I could find you, I'd run to you in my sleep. What is the one thing you wish that I could try to see, my dear? Was you make all so breathtaking from your happy tears? You make all so breathtaking from your happy tears. Right.
DJ Santiago, everybody. Thank you so much for our participants tonight. Our Thompson, Scarlett Gomez, of course, DJ Santiago. Thanks to Filmworks Al Fresco. This is really a nice space. Maybe a bit of a wind tunnel. I really kind of been like in the shadows of famous New York Presbyterian Hospital. I looked over here and I first thought it said the neurotic center. But then I corrected myself, you know, it says the neurological center. There must be a metaphor in that somehow. Anyway, thank you above all to everybody who stuck around. Next week, come back for the film. And let's bring up the co-host of Art in the Basin, Amy Joy Robert.
I'm short.
Fighting.
Timothy Brown, everyone, right? The host of the most about him, AITB, Art in the Basin, would not be around. So thank you, Tim, for all that you do for us. As you guys have heard, I am Amy Joy. I am the co-founder of Art in the Basin, and I help gather all these amazing artists who are willing to donate their talent and their time to show you guys what New York is all about, right? Come here with your dreams. All right, so I always end on the same notes. You heard what the words were, so I expect everyone here to say it with me when I give you the un deux trois, okay? Before I do that, I am going to read a poem that inspired me, all 3 letters, and it's called Lead Love. You can find my, I'm just gonna plug this out. My book on Amazon is called The Purest Kind, and that's Amy Joy Robateau, Robateau. You'll need all of that. And this is called Lead Love. I haven't recited this in a while, so it's very short. Love at the helm, take me to an unseen realm. In it I'll dwell under sacred spell, waving until your gaze set still. Love, lead the way. Thank you. All right, so are you guys ready to let love lead? On deux trois, let's hear you. Let love lead. That's right, but if you're here with me in 2023, it's time to get behind the helm and lead. Do it with love, so let love, right? Make that sunshine come on through, and it's through you, so you're at the helm. We love you guys. Join us at AITB. It's open mic. It's a supportive atmosphere, and thank you, Aaron, Inwood Artworks, CJ Santiago, Scarlett Gomez, RM Thompson. You got it. Thank you. Good night.
Once again, let's give it for Art in the Basement, everybody. Thank you so much, Tim, Amy Joy, and all of our wonderful performers here today for performing for you here on this gusty Friday here. Once again, we thank you for coming out tonight. As you well know, Hidden Figures is not a metaphor. We're actually not hiding the screen anywhere. We actually were unable to safely do the show for you tonight due to the 23, 25 mile an hour wind gusts coming down through here. We had the screen up earlier. You can see it on our social media and stuff like that. It was nearly blowing away. We had it literally tied down to every single surface, and it was still popping up. And so we didn't want anybody getting hurt, including y'all or my crew or anybody. So we're going to come back next Friday, and we're going to do it for you then. Hopefully the weather will be easier on everybody. You can feel here it comes again, but this is not too bad. Yeah, unfortunately, we want to make sure everyone's safe. And so we'll come back next Friday. I'll see you same bat channel. We'll be promoting it via social media and all that. Follow at Inwood Artworks to keep up all that we do. And just so you know, if you're up for Waiting for Guffman, that's Monday at the Hudson, straight down Dykeman Street. And with Rick Molina and the Uptown Guitars playing at 7 o'clock. Rick Molina is the first chair at Wicked guitarist. He's fantastic. He's the first Latino to conduct Wicked actually as well. Super great guy. Also lives in Riverdale, the Bronx. At the Uptown Guitars, and then we're doing Vertigo there on the 28th. So that's we're the whole and Pigeon Wing Dance Company is performing for them on this carpet show. So that's what we do. We cultivate our community by investing in it, in the artistic equity with live artists and from our community, and then the film. And we really want to keep on bringing that to you for the great price of free. So whatever you can do to help us out and keep follow all these wonderful artists. We want to thank again Columbia University and New York Presbyterian Hospital, Office of Government Community Affairs, Ross is over here, Scarlett and Sandra Harris, everybody who supports us. Please follow them and support them and giving them all the help you can do. But so do me a favor, we're gonna need help to bring people back here next week. So if you do me a favor, could you share that with everybody and let them know? Because I'll be doing it too, but I need your help. So we'll see you here next week as it gets dark around 8 o'clock in the movie, okay? Thank you again for coming out tonight. Get home safe, everybody. Thank you.
All right, everybody over.
Oh.
Yeah. Aaron. So I don't have the. I don't have the.